can be one of the most controversial parts of cruising.
Some people think that sea days are the best part of a cruise, while others could be bored and ready to be done by noon.
Now, me personally, I could have 5 sea days in a row and be perfectly happy.
And I definitely think that too many port days in a row can be a problem sometimes.
Now, if you are thinking about booking a cruise, it is really important for you to understand sea days, because if you know about them, then your itinerary could either be a win or a loss.
Welcome back to Core 4 Adventures. If you're new, I'm Laura.
And I'm Carol.
And today we're going to talk about sea days, why some cruisers absolutely love them and some avoid them at all costs.
So let's start off talking about what is a sea day. A sea day is when you do not have a port stop. You are at sea when you wake up in the morning all day long until you go to bed that night. You're out sailing on the ocean, and this often happens in between destinations on a cruise itinerary.
And you can often have more than one sea day in a row. Think about like a transatlantic or a trans-Pacific. You may have 4 or 5 sea days in a row. And there's lots of destinations that you may still have more than one, even though you're going to a destination. For example, last summer we went to Bermuda and we had 2 sea days on the way down there and 1 sea day on the way back. And don't forget about those destinations that you're not getting off the ship for. When we went to Alaska, we went to Glacier Bay National Park, but you don't get off the ship that day, so it really feels like a sea day. Now, why do cruise lines do this? Well, they need to get places. They need to get the ship where you need to go. And sometimes the port just doesn't have enough room for all the ships that want to be there. Think about our Bermuda trip. It took us 2 days to get down there, but only 1 day to get back because they had to work with the schedule of the port and when our ship could be in port.
Now, a lot of people love sea days. Let's find out why.
So the number one reason why people love sea days is they really get to enjoy the ship. These really are floating resorts. There are so many things to do and see. You can really enjoy all of the amenities that are available to you, like the pool and the spa, the hot tubs, the lounges, all of those places, because you have nothing else to do that day, so you might as well enjoy the ship.
And that's exactly right. You can go at a slower pace on a sea day. You can sleep in, you can take a longer time at breakfast, maybe go to the main dining room for breakfast, spend your morning reading a book out on the pool deck or one of the decks overlooking the ocean. You're not rushed. You don't have any time that you have to be at a specific place, so you can really slow things down.
Reason number 3 is there's so many activities to do on the ship, and it's a really great way to get to spend time doing those. We like to do the wine tastings. There's always trivia going on, live music throughout the ship. There's big production shows in the evenings, so much to do. You can't be bored.
And one of the things that I really like about a sea day is it takes all of the logistics and planning off the table. You don't have to be at a place at a certain time. You don't have to think about transportation or getting back to the ship at a certain time so that you don't miss the sail away. There's so many things that you have to think about during port days that you don't even have to worry about on a sea day. So it really gives you true relaxation, which is what a vacation should be about. One of the first things people say they don't like about sea days is the ship does feel more crowded than when you are in port. That's because everybody that's on that sailing is stuck on the ship. So that means that the pool deck may be more crowded. It may be harder to get a lounge chair. The buffet may be more crowded, takes you longer to get through the lines. And something people don't think about is getting from place to place on the ship. The elevators may be more in use those days because there's simply more people there. So it may take you longer to get to where you're going.
And a sea day is very weather dependent. I talked about being up on that top deck and enjoying the pool, but if it's raining and cold outside, you're not going to want to do that. You're going to feel like you need to be in the inside spaces, and then that feels even more crowded.
Other people take cruises because they really want an active vacation. I've often talked about how a cruise can be like a sampler platter, checking out different areas of the world. And each day you're going to a different city, a different location. And they don't want to be restricted to staying on the ship when they want to be out there exploring. So that may not be a good fit for everyone.
And those cabins can be really small, so a lot of sea days in a row you can get cabin fatigue, especially if you're in an interior room and the weather's not great. Where else can you go?
So who are sea days perfect for?
So sea days are great for people who have high stress jobs. It's a way to get away and nobody can get a hold of you. I love that about a cruise. It's great for first-time cruisers who really want to explore the ship that they're on. It's really nice for families as well as people who are just looking for a lot of structured activities and things to do.
And it may not be a good fit for people that are obsessed with ports, people that want to go out there and see the world, maybe have that more active type of vacation. If you are prone to seasickness, it might not be a good idea to book an itinerary with a lot of sea days, because then you're on the ship and you don't get a chance to step on land that day. It might not be a good fit for people who want a more land-based, more active itinerary or vacation. Sea days are just about relaxing.
And if you love cruise content like this, not just reviews, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Turn on that notification bell and like this video. It really helps our channel.
And we'd love to hear from you. Drop us a comment in the comment box below. We do answer every comment that we receive.
Up next, let's talk about how to make those sea days better.
Our first tip is to have 1 or 2 anchor activities so you've got something to look forward to on a sea day. That could be something like a reservation for a specialty dining restaurant, maybe some services at the spa, or maybe tickets to see a show that evening. Something that, again, you're looking forward to, and it makes those sea days special and different from port days.
And don't be afraid to move around the ship and enjoy the whole thing. Maybe have your coffee inside in the morning, spend the midday at the pool, move up to the lounge in the afternoon, check out the trivia, go to the entertainment in the evening. It just makes it feel like you're using the whole ship, and it breaks up the day.
Another tip that you can do is avoid the peak times. Maybe, getting up a little bit earlier before the crowds get out, or maybe staying and having breakfast a little bit later than everybody. Another great tip is get to the pool early. If you want a chair at the pool deck, you're going to need to get out there at least before 10 a.m.
And I think the most important thing is to adjust your expectations. You're not having a beach day. You're not doing a city tour. You're enjoying a floating resort and all that means.
All right, what is the final verdict? Laura, are you a fan of sea days, or do you just like to stay on the ports?
As much as I love the ports, I love a good sea day too. When we went to the Mediterranean, we had 9 ports in a row, no sea days at all. And by day 7, we were so exhausted from all of those ports that we skipped one. So I don't think I would ever book an itinerary again that didn't have a sea day.
And for me, I really love a sea day. I'm actually really interested in taking like a transatlantic crossing where you have sometimes 4 or 5 sea days back to back. I think that would be really cool experience, especially because I love just being on the cruise ship itself and that floating resort feeling.
So what do you think? We would love to hear in the comments section below. Are you team sea day or team port day?
And before you vote there, you might want to see how we do sea days in action. Click on this playlist below from our Mexican Riviera cruise where we had 3 sea days and we shared everything that we did on those.
Thank you so much for watching. We can't wait to see you next time on Core 4 Adventures. Bye!